brief panel, and then we're going to get you downstairs to the expo and all the fun that awaits you, the networking, the resources. As I said at the beginning of my talk today, this has always been about Super Bowl, but about much more. We at the host committee have an incredible array of corporate partners who are wanting to be a part of this Super Bowl story. And I can tell you, to a company, yeah, they'll get some assets, they'll get some suites and boxes and hospitality, but to a company, their interest in what we're doing here today is about making sure that this leaves a lasting impact in the Bay Area. We said already, Google is the proud sponsor of this program, and we're going to hear momentarily from one of their leads in the supplier diversity world. But we thought, well, why wouldn't we bring these companies to you? These are companies that are here year-round, that do literally billions of dollars, with a B, literally. And that's just one company that's on this stage today, maybe more than one with Chevron as well. Billions of dollars with diverse suppliers. I'm not talking about the supply chain overall. I'm talking about diverse suppliers. So why wouldn't we bring those companies to you? They're going to be downstairs in the expo room telling you about their procurement programs. But it's now my pleasure to bring out three of our partners from Chevron, from Kaiser Permanente, and from Google. Tommy Smith from Kaiser. Tommy, where are you? Let's give Tommy a hand. Take a seat there. Dave Feldman, Supply Chain Advisor at Chevron. And last but not least, Adam Gardner from Google. So I have just a few questions I'm going to ask them. I'll kind of do the, I don't even know who's on talk shows these days, but whatever the talk show person is that sits here and talks. I'm going to ask these gentlemen a few questions to talk about their programs, and then we'll wrap up and get you downstairs. So my first question is just a general question to each of them, just to tell us about your supplier diversity efforts at your company. And Dave, I'll start with you.
Great, thanks. And it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for the invitation. So Chevron is a California company, been here, over 130 years. As far as our program, our supplier diversity program, it has also been around for quite a long time, more than 20 years. It has its origins in compliance, based on our requirements to report to the government our spend with small businesses. And over time, our program has evolved. I won't bore you with a lot of numbers, but to give you some sense of our size, in 2014, we spent $2.6 billion with small businesses, and about $960 million. We couldn't quite get to the billion-dollar mark, but $960 million with women and minority-owned businesses. So, what I like to tell people about Chevron's program is it's largely, in fact, almost entirely discretionary, because we're not really driven by compliance issues, in that our business with the government these days is quite small compared to the size of our business, nor do we have some of the market forces that a retailer would have. So, that leaves it as being largely discretionary. It's a matter of, our desire to do two things. One is to bring and deliver value to our supply chain. In other words, we're looking for suppliers that can help us solve the most important, hard-to-solve problems that we face today, and help us do so in a way that allows us to do things faster, better, and cheaper. And secondly, we think it's important that Chevron, in the communities where we operate, it's important, and one of our key values, that we benefit those communities. And probably the best way is through our buying power. Our company should be reflective of the communities that surround it. So if you looked at a map and you saw, if you were able to color, the different aspects, and if you saw Chevron where our operations are, you shouldn't be able to distinguish it from the surrounding communities. Our employees should look like the communities that they work in. And our supply chain should also be reflective of the communities where we live and work. So, bringing excellence to the supply chain and having it reflective of the communities where we live and work is our kind of a key sort of motivating factors.
Tommy?
Sure. Thanks for having us or having me on this panel. So my name is Tommy Smith. I'm with our National Supplier Diversity Program at Kaiser Permanente. And Kaiser Permanente, 80% of my business is in California, but you may not know that we're also located throughout the country in Hawaii, the Denver, Colorado area, the Portland, Oregon area, the DC Metro, and the Atlanta Metro. Kaiser is the largest nonprofit health plan in the country with 2013 revenues of $53 billion in 2013. We have about 38 hospitals, 618 medical offices. We have 17,000 physicians and 174,000 employees that serve 9 million members across the country. So it's a pretty sizable organization. But we are a mission-driven organization. Kaiser Permanente's mission as a nonprofit is to provide affordable, high-quality health care for its members and to serve the communities in which we operate. And that's where the Supplier Diversity Program comes into play. We recognize at Kaiser Permanente that by spending our dollars within our geographical footprint, by making sure that our spend reflects the diversity of the community, of our members, of our workforce, of our talent pool, of the communities where we operate, helps support those communities. By supporting the economic health of communities, that means that people can afford better life choices, better food, better housing, better health care, which I just happen to provide, and also better health choices. So just by simply making sure that a portion of our operations, our procurement operations, is recirculated back into the communities we serve, we're supporting our mission. Last year, Kaiser Permanente spent $1.5 billion in direct spend with minority and women-owned businesses. We are the 20th member of what's called the $1 Billion Roundtable, and these are organizations like that have $1 billion in direct spend with diverse suppliers, minority and women-owned businesses. So this is part and parcel of what we're about as an organization. So making sure that and it's not a matter of simply doing the right thing. We need to have assurance of supply. We need to have quality. We need to make sure that we are providing the best services to our members. And we can marry those needs with ensuring that we use diverse suppliers in meeting those needs.
Thank you. Adam.
Hi, everybody. My name's Adam Gardner. I'm the program manager for Google's Small Business Supplier Diversity Program. And I'm really excited to be here. I'm excited to be a part of this, and certainly Google is incredibly excited to partner with the Super Bowl host committee. And we were just talking back there, how cool would it be if we could, in just a couple months from now, be watching the Oakland Raiders kick off against the San Francisco 49ers in the first Bay Super Bowl, right? Let's bring it home. So Google's mission is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. And our program really focuses on the universally part. It's important that we're aware of who our users are, and that's really at the core of our program. We want to make sure the web can work for everyone, and we think that we've designed a program around that. Our program just launched in November. We are incredibly new to this, but super excited about some of the early successes that we've seen. So I'll tell you kind of a little bit about how the program works, but start with the kind of thought behind it. We are a company that started in a garage and are still very acutely aware of the importance of small business in the community. Now, we've grown incredibly large, but I feel like that culture definitely pervades our organization, it's a huge part of who we are today as a company. And so our program really has two primary goals. Number one, it's to connect more minority women, veteran, and LGBT-owned small businesses with Google buyers. And number two, it's to help those businesses accomplish their goals on the web. We didn't want to stop with just our spend. We want to help you accomplish your business goals using some of the products that we provide. And so the way our program is designed and the way that it works is you can visit our site at google.com/supplierdiversity. And it's specifically targeted at companies right now with just less than $15 million a year in annual revenue and fewer than 50 employees. So we're really aiming at the smaller end of the spectrum with the program today. And that's really the only criteria. You apply, and we'll let you know in 2 weeks whether you're accepted or not. And then you have access to several program benefits that we're pretty excited about. The first of which is prioritized enrollment in what we call the Accelerate Academy. And that's a 12-week online advertising curriculum provided completely free of charge that'll help you get on the web if you're not already on. And if you're already on the web, it'll help search optimize your website and help you take your website to the place where you want it to be, where you can start doing a lot more converting of folks that are clicking into your site. It's an incredibly great program. Allie Bernstein is here with us today. She manages that program, so I encourage you, if you're interested in it, to ask her down at the booth more information about it. Another benefit is that we'll give you a 25% discount on Google Apps for Work if you'd like to use that product. And then finally, you'll be available in our internal supplier database so that Googlers, when they're searching for products and services, can find you and see more information about your business and eventually reach out to you. And then once they do, we'll actually pay you within 15 business days or less. That's something that was a pretty big deal for us internally to approve. And I think it shows our commitment not only to talk about it, but to put our money where our mouth is in that regard. And we're really excited to be able to offer that as a benefit to our program participants once we do establish a business relationship. So that's kind of the quick rundown of how our program works, and we hope that you'll visit us at the booth downstairs.
Thanks, Adam, and thanks to all of these panelists. Yeah, we're not done yet, but I'm just thanking them because there are a few more things they want to share with us. But I'm thanking them because I think it is important that you hear from three different types of companies that are all leading or aspiring to lead. In the case of Google, having just launched their program, but just thinking about this very intentionally. And I think all three of these companies are. One of the things that I wanted to ask them, and I'll start with you, Tommy, as a member of that billion-dollar roundtable, which also deserves a large clap. But what are some of the key categories that you find suppliers, specifically diverse suppliers, what are some of the key categories you're looking for?
Sure. I need everything one would to run a hospital. So, part and parcel is medical supplies, pharmaceuticals, but it doesn't stop just there, of course. I know that Philips and Siemens are the only ones that I'm going to buy MRI machines from, but stethoscopes and tongue depressors, I've got more options there. And I also need to clean the hospitals, so I need janitorial services. I need to furnish the hospitals. I need furnitures, fixtures, and equipment. I need to build the hospitals. I need contractors and plumbers, and then once we build them, we need to maintain them. So we need the maintenance folks and the elevator folks. And then if anyone has ever been involved, and we at Kaiser Permanente are very proud of our online systems, but in the back of the house, we still use a lot of paper. So I need office supplies and pens and pencils and desk and someone to come in and water the plants and bring lunch to the patients. And so I need a whole host of a variety of things. And I'm happy to say that in some of our big spend areas, like our office supplies, like our security, here in the Bay Area, our food services, those are all provided by diverse suppliers, and these are multi-million-dollar deals. Our contingent workforce comes from a diverse supplier. So, yeah, I need the whole gamut, Yeah, what I do not need is sugary drinks and cigarettes. So
Okay.
don't come to me with that. But
Take
everything
note,
else,
Take note out there.
everything else that you need to run a hospital system, I'm in the market for.
Just on the same question, either Dave or Adam or both, anything unique in your industry that a diverse supplier has supplied you?
Something unique.
We've got a story about a granola supplier that I think applies. We have a lot of food at Google in both cafeterias, and then we've got sort of snack areas scattered around the campus. And there was originally a rule where no Googler could be farther than 150 feet from food at any given time. I'm not sure whether that still applies or not, but we found a female entrepreneur who had a business called Great Granola. And it actually was one of the driving reasons why we were able to offer why we really wanted to offer the pay terms benefit, because she makes this great granola. We tested it out in the micro kitchens. Googlers loved it. They said, buy more of it. And our micro kitchen buyers went out and bought her entire supply for the month, said, great, make it and we'll buy it. And we totally cleared out her supply and weren't set up to pay her until 35 days later. And so she ended up having to bootstrap her entire business for a month with her own money in order to take it forward. Now, fortunately, we were able to get her that pay terms benefit. She's still supplying granola to us, and we made it work. But just to underscore the importance of cash on an immediate basis is something we're really trying to work on at Google.
Great. Let me turn now to kind of trends that you're seeing in this space. So. Clearly, what the things that we're looking for with respect to Super Bowl have a somewhat narrow focus, but as business owners who are now, I'm sure, more interested if they weren't already in connecting with your companies, what are some of the trends that you're seeing in terms of how businesses are having success competing for the business with your company? Dave, maybe I can start with you on that.
Yeah, thanks. I thought about that question some, and the thing that comes to mind for me is the notion of partnerships or strategic alliances. And we're finding, that model where a smaller company, whether it be diverse or not, is partnering with larger companies who can provide or help them deliver at sort of the size and scale and scope that would be required for a company like Chevron. What comes to mind is that, as an example, is that we've just had a sourcing involving our global office products, and which is for Chevron is about a $10 or $12 million contract globally. The winner of that contract was actually a diverse business based in Houston, which was quite a small company. I can't remember exactly how many employees, but a relatively small company based in Houston, Texas. But they had formed a strategic alliance with one of the large big box office suppliers, and it was the combination of those two companies that allowed them to deliver to a company of our size. And we've seen that in other areas as well. That model of forming alliances to use a large company as sort of as a shipper and distributor, while they're handling the front end of their business, taking orders, providing customer service, and all of those kinds of services is something that I think we're seeing more and more. And I know examples in other product and service lines where that model has proven successful.
Great, thanks. So with my last question, I'd like for each of you to comment on your outreach strategies. One of the things that we're trying to do with Super Bowl is make sure that people hear about what the opportunities are. And I think, with each event we learn something about how to better reach, because we want people to know about the opportunity. At the end of the day, people have to make a choice for themselves as to whether or not they want to participate. But if they don't know about it, they can't. So each of you, I'd love to hear a little bit about how you outreach and how do you identify or how do you reach out to those diverse suppliers. Adam, we can start with you maybe.
Sure. Just having launched in November, we're actually starting out with what we're calling our roadshow, our Small Business Supplier Diversity Roadshow. So we've got some existing partnerships set up with supplier development organizations across the country, and we're city by city going through and meeting with folks and coming out and holding events and really hearing from them, not only talking about our program, but hearing from them what they need and what they want. And really it ends up being a conversation that goes like us asking how we can be a better customer for some of these small and diverse suppliers. So we've held events so far in, I believe, Ann Arbor, back in New York, and in a couple days, I think, up in Cincinnati. And this is certainly another great channel for us to reach out and meet some of you folks, which is awesome. But this is just the beginning for us. And so we've got a really big 2015 planned for both outreach and program growth. And that's around participation from the supplier side, but also us changing and iterating on our original program idea based on what we hear from you. So I want to thank you for showing up and invite you all to come visit us at our booth and continue that conversation and really help us design a program that works for both you and Google. So thanks.
Sure. I've got to give a plug for the website, which is Okay, let's get rid of that.
That's a powerful website.
Yes, so you must go, otherwise, no. I was going to laugh at Adam because I always tell folks, I never remember the URL. I just say, Google supplier diversity at Kaiser Permanente, and he'll come straight to our website because we have it optimized.
That's a strategic alliance that just... Hector, we good? Okay.
So I'm just going to stand up and talk for you. So it's Google supplier diversity at KaiserPermanente.com. I'll go to the podium. So I encourage folks to please go to our website, Google supplier diversity at KaiserPermanente.com. There you can register in our supplier portal. Now, I know I can't see because of the lights, but there are probably some eyes rolling saying, oh, no, not another portal, whatever. But this is a sourcing tool for us. Kaiser Permanente has a national corporate policy that we prefer to use a diverse supplier. One is both available and able to meet our business terms at a competitive price. So all my sourcing folks come to me whenever there's a sourcing opportunity, or folks on my team saying, we need our list of diverse suppliers because I need to get my bonus this year because, we're extending the garage. I got to make sure I meet my numbers. So where's my list? And I'm going to go to the portal. It's great when you come to outreach events and you give me the cards and you meet with me. And it's great that, we have face-to-face interaction. But at 5 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday, when I get the call saying I need a list and I need it by Monday morning and I'm taking off Friday, I'm going to reach into the portal, find the 20, 15, 10, whomever suppliers that are available, vet them. In fact, the site already vets them, so we already kind of know what their business qualifications are and provide that list. And they're going to participate in the RFP. And what's going to happen is Monday or Tuesday, someone's going to call me and hey, I heard that there was an RFP out, and we met before and we didn't call me. It's like, did you register? Well, you said that there was a wet. You depended on my memory, and I may remember, oh, that's right, I met someone at this event, make sure that I add them to the list. But I really would encourage folks, register on the website, make sure that it's complete, make sure that the information there is succinct. We ask for what we call a supplier information template. It's kind of a deck that you fill out that gives us the high points of your company. Don't do it for me. Pretend that you're filling that out for a sourcing manager, because that very well could be something that I just flip on to someone else. It's your calling card. So that's my plug. Google supplier diversity at Kaiser Permanente and register on our site. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Dave, finish us off here.
Okay, great. Now I'm afraid to use this, but So we have a supplier registration. It's chevron.com, supplier diversity, and I encourage you to look at that. And stop by our booth as well, and we have some material that can help you figure out how to sign up as an interested supplier. But beyond registering, I would like to just, in terms of our outreach efforts, for Chevron, largely attached to our strategic partners. And, Chevron, like my colleagues up here, I'm sure are members of the National Minority Supplier Development Council, NMSDC, and its network of regional affiliates. Chevron is members of half a dozen or so, including the one here in Northern California, which is the Western Region, NMSDC, which I know is our strategic partner, as well on the women's side, ASTRA, which is part of the Women's Business Enterprise National Council. So, being active with those organizations, we're active, and virtually all corporations are active, and we use those organizations to help us engage with the diverse supplier community. So, being active with those organizations, we're active with them, and we attend these events, and we find those events as one way to conduct outreach with the diverse supplier community. So, a plug for our strategic partners, the advocacy groups on the women's side, small business side, minority business side, as well as the LGBT side through the National Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce, all of which Chevron is very active with. And I would encourage you not just to join, and not just to be certified, rather, but to get involved and participate. We have found that a great way to make those connections. It's not the most efficient process in the world, as many of you know who've participated in that. It does take some time, but I think that people who have used that network have many, I think, would suggest that they've had some success in doing so. So a plug for those advocacy groups and the partnerships associated with them.
Great. Well, thank you. Let's give our panel a round of applause. Thank you all, David, Tommy, and Adam. And you, as they all have said, you can meet them downstairs in just a few moments. I have a few parting words and some instructions about how to participate downstairs, but we hope that you will stick around and take them up on their offer. Meet them at their booth, their colleagues. They've got, you'll be, they've all brought it, but obviously Google, as our presenting sponsor, has a unique space downstairs we'd encourage you to check out. So, so thank you again, gentlemen. You can just leave your mics on the seats. So we just wanted to finish with a few key messages to you as we wrap up this portion of the event and turn our attention downstairs to really the networking and the building of relationships and the connecting that we want you to do. Upcoming, as I mentioned earlier, we really want to start to connect you to the buyers for Super Bowl 50. So we're planning a number of, as you can imagine, Google Hangouts, where you'll get a chance to hear from these suppliers, these buyers. You'll hear about what they're going to be looking for, what their procurement timetables are, what is going to help you be successful. These won't be pitch sessions. They will be a way for those buyers to tell you what they're looking for. The requirement, though, is that you must be registered in our system. You must have applied to be a part of our program, because we will limit the participation to the companies, the categories that they have identified that they want to speak to. So again, you'll hear me say it a lot today. You need to get online. You need to go to sfbaysuperbowl.com and register. It's not a long application. You don't have to be certified yet to register. You can start your certification process today downstairs with our certifying partners, but you could apply today as well, and that way you're in our system. You'll get an invitation to those Hangouts, which will start probably mid-March and will run through April. In June, this is an important event. This is an annual trade show that we do in partnership with the NFL. They're all here in June for what's called a production visit, and it's a big one because they also bring all of their contractors. And so what we do is host essentially a curated expo, except for instead of downstairs where the expo vendors are wanting to serve you, you all as business owners will be the expo vendors, and you'll be showcasing your best to these prospective buyers. To be in that program, you actually have to be a part of Business Connect. That's not open to the public. as these events are. And so again, that's going to be coming up in June. So again, another reason to get registered in our program. Of course, we have our ongoing monthly Business Connect newsletters, which now you all will receive. You can opt out at any time, but we want to make sure you hear about these opportunities. And we'll share our relevant procurement opportunities as we have them. You know, we've talked about this from the beginning. It's dependent on timing of when those opportunities are available, but it is our obligation to share those with you. And so we will do that as they become available. And still more is being planned, so stay tuned. We again want to make sure that this leaves a lasting impact for the Bay Area and for you as a business owner. Just a reminder, there's a double slide in here to remind you, the Business Connect application, important dates to remember. April 30th is when that application process closes. The Resource Expo, so what's happening next? We're all gonna go downstairs, and I hope what you will find is that you will be greeted by 23 amazing organizations that want to help you be successful as a business owner. They are not here to sell you a service or a good. They are here because they provide a valuable opportunity for business owners, funded often through the government, funded through the nonprofit sector, to help your business be successful. We have a great set of resources downstairs for you. But if that wasn't enough, we wanted to turn it into a little bit of a game. So we have the chance for you to win some amazing prizes just for visiting booths, including tickets, tech prizes, taste prizes. I went on the T, the alliteration on the T, it seemed to work. And we're also going to be giving away today Michael's course to 8 lucky winners just for visiting one booth. You're entered into that raffle. So how does it work? It's simple. Visit booths. The more booths you visit, the better your chances are of winning in each prize category. So we have 3 categories: taste, tech, and tickets. Taste is an amazing display of Sonoma wine, great cookbook from our partners in Sonoma. In tech, we've got some Google product, some Apple product, a Jawbone. And in tickets, we have 4 tickets to a season game for both the Raiders and 4 season tickets with parking for a 49ers 2015-2016 season game. To get those prizes, you actually have to visit booths. You have to visit 4 booths to be entered into the taste prize. When you hit 8 booths, you'll not only be entered into the taste category, but also the tech category. And if you visit 10 booths, and we have 23, when you visit 10 booths, you'll be entered into all 3 categories, and you'll have a chance to win. And we will be tracking this in real time, in aggregate, on big boards throughout the venue. So you can actually see, hey, that tech category, there's still only a few people in there. I can maybe go visit a few more booths. I got a good chance. My odds are good. And then just for playing, every 15 minutes, we're going to be giving away a course, one of Michael's courses, just for one booth visit. Of course, here are booths that we have downstairs. Our presenting sponsor, Google. The host committee, we're a buyer for Super Bowl, as we talked about earlier. We have a number of team members downstairs. 8 factors. Michael has a booth. Go up and talk to him. Debate with him. He loves the debate. You heard something, you're like, Michael, I don't know. Go talk to him about it. He loves that. And he'll give you some advice. And then we have all of our certification partners. So as we've said from day one, start your process now. Start your process now. Identify the certification that's relevant to you and begin that process. Again, we have free and fee-based certifications. They offer different things, so you have to judge for yourself what's most important. You only need to be certified by one of these entities, not all 4. So, not all 5, excuse me. So make sure that you visit their booths today and learn about how to get certified. We have our corporate supplier diversity programs. We added an additional corporate partner of ours, Seagate, another technology company down there in the South Bay. So visit them, learn about their programs. Here's what I'm really excited about. The next 2 slides, a number of public and nonprofit resources. These are entities that are here to serve you. That is what they do. So they're thrilled that they get a chance to talk to you about their programs that could benefit you. We have the SBA, we have the NorCal PTAC, which helps you actually bid on RFPs and helps you work on your negotiation and bidding skills. We have the Valley Transportation Authority, which has a new MBE, WBE program that one of our partners has worked with to help them build. We have the SBDC, we have the MBDAs, lots of alphabet soup, but they're all great organizations and they're all looking to help you. We also have a number of nonprofit resources, and again, this Bay Area is rich with them, but we've curated what we think are some of the best. Groups like Business Advising and SCORE that provide mentors and advice for your business, free of cost or at very nominal costs. These are individuals who can help you with very specific business problems. They're like having 50 Michael Bushes with functional expertise in all the areas of your business who can provide you that advice. Groups like ICA, Inner City Advisors. The Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights has a program called Legal Services for Entrepreneurs. They'll be talking about LSE and that program downstairs. Of course, here in the East Bay EDA. How many of you know of the East Bay EDA? One of the region's lead economic development associations. They're here. They've got a great event actually happening after this tonight if you want to head over to the Fox Theater. And then Covered California. Hopefully, as all small business owners, you know about the new laws under Obamacare, under the Affordable Care Act. We have Covered California here to help you navigate that. So stop in and see them. Finally, how many of you have downloaded the Business Connect app already? Okay, there's a lot of room still. There's a free Wi-Fi here. You should have noticed. Don't worry about your minutes. Don't worry about your data plan. Download this app. Use the free Wi-Fi. Go to SB50 Business Connect on either the Android or the Apple platform. Right now, we are pushing out information. We'll be pushing out our winners. It won't be the only way you'll learn about it, but it's actually a way to connect to other individuals here, all the attendees here, the speakers that are here, their Twitter handles. It integrates with your social. This is just a way that we wanted to provide information to you, but mostly we wanted to help you connect with each other. Finally, it's also the way tonight through that app that at each booth, you'll be asked to be scanned. Now, I don't have my name badge on, but I brought it as a visual aid. You might have noticed there's a QR code or a barcode. When you show up to a booth, there will be a dedicated person there at each booth to scan your badge. That is how your booth visit gets tracked. And just so those of you, I know none of you are thinking this way, but the booth only tracks, the back end only tracks one visit per booth, per individual. So you can't just be there, get scanned 10 times, and win prizes. We built it, just for that case. So you have to go up and get scanned. They'll be scanning you at each booth. That's how you get entered into play. For those of you that haven't gotten your badge because you came and you registered here on site, those badges should be ready for you downstairs. If you do run into any issues with the app logging in, as a reminder, it's on the screen. It's your email address and case sensitive, lowercase SB50. How many of you have logged in today? Logged into the app. Okay, so most of you that have gotten the app and it's worked for you, yes? More or less? Oh, a few no's, okay. For the downstairs, we have an info booth. Go down to that info booth and they should be able to help you. It's not required that you have the app to play the game today. So what's important is you have a name badge. That's what matters. You'll be entered in by visiting those booths and getting scanned in. Thank you so much today for coming. This was our second Business Connect workshop. It's not over yet. We have a great program downstairs. We would encourage you to get downstairs, meet our staff, meet those 23 organizations, enjoy the rest of the afternoon, have a great rest of your day, and thank you so much for coming to our second workshop.